They will not stop with Texas. They will not stop with half the country. It will come everywhere. It is about abortion. It's about contraception. It's about the right to marry and form families how you want, the right to have relationships with whom you want. But it is also functionally their campaign to control our lives and futures. So my freedom has always depended on your freedom and someone else's freedom. We're about to see that fight and project play out in real time.
My body, my choice, legal abortion!
One of the things people ask me all the time is, why do people have abortion? As if there's one reason, as if there's one single story. And so I often start with, well, the first reason people have an abortion is that they no longer want to be pregnant.
Right.
And then I would like to just be able to end it with a period, but there is so much misinformation and such a history of shaming.
There's so many types of people who get abortions. In my office, I literally see people from all walks of life, all ages, all backgrounds, all monetary backgrounds, all of that seeking this care. You see everyone. I think we need to normalize that.
We know that 1 in 4 women of reproductive age have had abortions.
Right.
Except it's not talked about it. It's this
Right.
thing that has been so steeped in the shadows. And what that means in practice is that people feel alone, they feel isolated, they feel disconnected, and they don't realize that the majority of people in this country, the vast majority of people in this country, support access to abortion.
Right.
Everyone should be concerned about the Dobbs decision and abortion access, because access to abortion is so fundamentally tied to your ability to be equal, your ability to participate fully in our economy, in our politics, in our society, to be able to decide, you determine for yourself whether you have a family or how you have a family. It is core and fundamental.
We already were in a fragile place in a lot of these states with access to reproductive health care, and now it's just gonna get worse. Kids going back to school, especially colleges in states where it's banned, it's rough because they will not be able to get access to abortion care like on campus, close to campus, anywhere around them. Young people will have less reproductive rights than definitely their parents, but even in a lot of cases their grandparents, especially when Roe was instated, right? That people would say, oh, my grandkids are gonna have less rights than I do while they go to school. I think it's just mind-blowing to think about it in the arc of history.
There's a minority in this country that has a really narrow vision for women and for family structures in particular. And they would like to control our lives and bodies to have that come in to play.
All of this stuff is tied around control, and it's so unfortunate that it is. And they want to control people who don't have a lot of power politically or don't have a lot of money.
Because that's always been the plan.
Yeah,
I mean, I just have to be really clear. They're now articulating a long vision out loud.
Oh, yes.
And it is not going to begin or end with abortion.
Yep.
It will affect contraception. It will affect in vitro fertilization. It will affect who you partner with and how you form your families. They are coming for all of our rights.
Under attack, we must fight back. No fight, no freedom.
The SCOTUS ruling was super scary for me as an OBGYN because I can't work to the full scope of my license, to my training in a large swath of this country. It is criminalized. I can go to jail in Texas for the rest of my life if I perform an abortion. These abortion restrictions totally impacts like every part of reproductive health care. Because first off, if you're not training people to be able to do one aspect of reproductive health care, then it can impact their ability to manage other things. Like for example, some of the same medications, some of the same procedures we use to end a pregnancy for abortion care are used for miscarriages. And so you may now have people who may not be comfortable doing other aspects of reproductive health care, and it's going to affect whole communities, because then you're going to see other issues rise. So things like maternal mortality, and as we know, like Black women are more likely to die in pregnancy-related events than others. And so you're just gonna see that metric rise. People who don't have money, which tend to be people who are of marginalized communities, BIPOC, LGBTQ, all kinds of folks, going to affect them exponentially.
I just wake up every day thinking about, we are all in harm's way, but I know who's gonna be so deeply harmed. People who just in general don't have good access to healthcare and don't feel secure in this time. I know that they will be the most in harm's way.
You're so right, because when you think about all of those people who are the most harmed, like, you have to keep going. I think that's what keeps me going, is when you just know that it's going to be so detrimental to those communities. There's no way that you can just sit by and watch it. You have to do something.
I believe in us. I know what we can do. And I know that we can't afford to stay silent.
This is not going to be a short fight, right? And any movement that has happened in this country, really in the world, has taken time. It's never been like, okay, snap your fingers, 2 weeks later, it's all fixed. And we can't be discouraged, because we have to sit in it for the long haul. And if we stay on the right side of this, we will prevail, because it's the right thing to do.
Hope and action go hand in hand. And it is easy to become hopeless if you aren't actually moving forward and moving in action. So the first thing I always tell people is get involved. It will absolutely make you more hopeful. And that can be small things. It could be having a circle where you share information and take action when you can. It could be raising money for abortion funds, or being that person who calls Congress and demands that they keep this front of mind. What I most need people to do right now is recommit themselves to this work. Recommit yourself to ensuring that in your lifetime, access to abortion will be something that people can access in their communities. This is our country too.
Yes.
And we are
yes.
a part of it. And my ability to show up in all the ways for myself and for my community is integral to it.